Good morning. Coming up, I'm going to explain how an Austin father says firefighters and a simple old boot has helped his son change his life.
All right, stay for that. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to KXAN News Today. It is Thursday.
Yay.
Almost there. Connected to Friday. Morning, everyone. I'm Sally Hernandez.
I'm Brian Sanders. Weather and traffic first with Amanda and Mark. And coming off a nice rains, a little cool start to our day.
Yeah, quiet, cool, still cloudy out there right now, but later today the clouds will kind of shift off to the east, and we're looking at a beautiful afternoon here in early April following the gloomy days we've had, but we needed that rainfall. Again, the clouds still hanging on, and yeah, a little cool early today as we're in the upper 40s downtown, a little cooler in the hill country. Lando, you're at 45 this morning. Fredericksburg, good morning to you, checking in at 43. So still maybe wear the long sleeves and take the jacket because daytime highs, yes, will be a little bit warmer than yesterday, but still with that northwesterly flow, will fall a bit below average. We'll top out at 66. Cloud cover from this morning will break down nicely this afternoon, leaving us with mainly sunny skies later today and a little breezy at times too, with wind gusts as high as 20 miles per hour. Full 7-day includes a nice warm-up as we head into the weekend. We'll share it with you momentarily. Mandy, until then, over to you.
All right, I'm ready for that warm-up. If you're about to get out the door this morning, here's what you can expect on your roadways. Still pretty clear area-wide. Things moving along nicely along I-35, Mopac, and 360. We're watching just some minor traffic slow and go here on Westbreaker Lane as you make your way southbound on 183, approaching Loop 360 there, coming across Stone Lake Boulevard. Shakes out after you pass Mopac, then slows again as you come across I-35. That is your first warning traffic at 5:31. We'll see you back here in just 10 for another look at your roadways.
Thank you. While you were sleeping, workers were still trying to fix a derailed train.
We broke the news of the accident yesterday morning on KXAN News Today. And here's the latest this morning from Capital Metro. Metro rail service will be running as usual and ready for the morning rush. A freight train's gravel load spilled about 24 hours ago, shutting down Cap Metro's Red Line. The cause of the derailment is still a mystery, and it could take weeks to find out exactly what happened.
So here's a look at the recent growth of Metro Rail. Metro Rail use has tripled since the service started about 3 years ago, and records were set during South by Southwest last month with more than 49,000 people using Metro Rail. That's about 14,000 more than last year and an increase of nearly 40%.
The Texas House of Representatives is beginning to debate the $93.5 billion state budget today. They have to plow through 267 proposed changes. Lawmakers are boosting spending over the last budget passed back in 2011 when the recession caused the revenue to plummet. The legislature began this session with $101 billion to spend. The 2014-15 draft budget would increase spending on education, but not enough to make up for the $5.4 billion cuts made last session. Democrats want to restore all of those cuts by tapping the rainy day fund. Some Tea Party Republicans want to further limit state spending.
And small airports in Central Texas and really across the state could get a lifeline later on today. TxDOT will vote on whether to fund more than a dozen air control towers. Airports in Georgetown, New Braunfels, and San Marcos are all on the list to shut down because of the federal budget cuts. Well, last week, Governor Rick Perry was asking TxDOT to use emergency funds to help keep those control towers open. Today's vote is scheduled later on this morning when commissioners meet in downtown Austin. We'll let you know what they decide. A deployment ceremony today at Fort Hood. Around 500 soldiers will be headed out for a year-long mission to Afghanistan. Soldiers will be helping with military operations in Kabul.
Latinos are the fastest growing ethnic group in Austin, and an event today will take a closer look at the impact of that growth. Leadership Austin is bringing community members together for an open panel discussion about the topic. It's happening this morning at 7:30 over at the Long Center. Tickets are $25, breakfast included. You can find more information at leadershipaustin.org.
Well, today, Austin firefighters are taking a step out of their normal routine. They are taking part in a tradition to help people with muscular diseases.
Today kicks off Fill the Boot. It's an annual effort to raise money for muscular dystrophy. And our Sophia Beausoleil is live outside of Firehouse 5, which is downtown. Hi, Sophia.
Good morning, Brian and Sally. So yes, starting in a couple hours, you're going to see firefighters with a simple old boot standing in front of the different fire stations across town. They're hoping for your donations, and it's all to help people with muscular diseases. And you know what? Last year, Austin raised a lot of money. This year, the goal is even more ambitious. So all the money raised during Fill the Boot will go towards the Muscular Dystrophy Association here in Austin. Last year, AFD helped raise more than $85,000, and that money supports programs like the MDA clinics at Dell Children's Hospital and St. David's Round Rock Medical Center. It helps families that can't afford equipment like wheelchairs. Plus, it helps send kids with muscle diseases to a week-long summer camp. And this year's AFC's official goal is $90,000. The chief went above and beyond and said she hopes to get $100,000. Now, we spoke with one dad whose son, his 9-year-old son, has MD. And in school, he says it's a struggle because he has a tough time to keep up with other students when it comes to the physical activities, even something as simple as holding a pencil and keeping attention. And he says, you know what? Fill the Boot has helped his son go to summer camp and meet kids just like him.
Knowing that there's a larger group of children out there that are going through the same struggles as him really helps him gain that, the confidence where in some cases he would think that he was all alone, and to know that he's not and that there's a big group and people willing to support him is wonderful.
So the campaign starts today in a couple hours and lasts all the way through Sunday. All you have to do is just find a firefighter with a boot, drop in your $1, your $10, $20, even a quarter or a penny. And you know what? In 30 minutes, we're going to talk to some volunteers who are directly affected by this disease, and you'll want to hear from them. They're a lovely couple. Reporting live downtown, Sophia Beausoleil, KXAN News.
Okay, thank you, Sophia. Time check is now 5:36, and a man is in critical condition this morning after the house that he was in exploded. It happened yesterday just before noon in Tyler.
And we both heard this loud boom. Like us living a street over, the whole house shook.
As we got closer, Chris literally looks at me and says, "That guy is on fire." Those of us that had outerwear or shirts of some kind that we could take off and put on the guy were literally taking them off and trying to put him out.
The man in the house at the time is believed to have been doing floor work inside the home, but this morning officials are worried about the structural stability of the house. Some walls are leaning outward from the explosion. The cause of the blast is still under investigation.
More troubling news today for Carnival cruise ship Triumph. Yesterday, it broke away from a shipyard in Alabama after some strong winds, and 2 shipyard workers fell into the water. Officials found one worker, but they're still looking for the other. The 900-foot-long vessel drifted in the water at one point, slamming into a tugboat. A 20-foot gash about 2 to 3 feet wide was visible about halfway up the hull from the water. Tensions are rising in North and South Korea this morning.
South Korea's defense minister says North Korea has moved a missile with considerable range to its east coast, one capable of hitting South Korea, Japan, or U.S. territories in Guam, but not the U.S. itself. Experts say North Korea has not demonstrated that it has missiles capable of long range or accuracy. Pyongyang has threatened a nuclear strike on the U.S. and missile attacks on its Pacific bases. Those threats followed new UN sanctions against North Korea for carrying out a 3rd nuclear test back in February.
Elsewhere, overseas, cleanup begins today after almost 300 firefighters battled a huge fire in an apartment complex, an office there in Chechnya. That fire spread to every floor of the 40-story building, which is under construction. 30 people inside that building did get out safely.
There is extra attention and cleanup today near Italy's Mount Etna. Take a look at this. Another eruption from the volcano yesterday brought rumblings and billowing clouds, as you can see. Plumes of lava also shot up hundreds of feet into the air. Ash has fallen onto nearby homes and roads. This is the 19th eruption of Etna since mid-February. Just a reminder of the power of Mother Nature there.
And we had a reminder yesterday with the floods and the storms.
Oh, yeah. They were raging, those waters, at one point, especially on Tuesday afternoon when those severe storms came on through. Yesterday was more of that sustained rainfall that we like to see, especially considering it lasted for a long time, and it was more of a light to moderate rain. But now the showers are gone, and we turn to our new high-resolution future clouds and radar model to get us through the day today. We start off at 8 a.m. this morning. Notice that a much much of the area is still underneath cloud cover, just like we are right now. At least the rain showers for the morning commute should be long gone, so no wet weather to deal with today. In fact, the clouds will begin to pull off to the east as we work ourselves into the afternoon. So mainly sunny skies to return to the forecast today. It will be a beautiful, albeit a bit of a cooler spring afternoon today with daytime highs in the middle 60s or so. But check out the next couple of days. We're going to warm it up and keep the sun around Friday and into the day on Saturday as temperatures return to the low 80s to start off the weekend. Full 7-day forecast just around the corner, but in the meantime, it is now coming up on 540. Mandy, let's send it your way.
All right, thank you, Mark. Taking it out to the traffic maps now. Here's what we have working in the traffic center. Still no major wrecks or stalls to report. Rush hour really kicking in within the next 20 minutes or so. Watching 360. This was a really busy spot yesterday morning. Northbound Lost Creek Boulevard to Lakewood Drive. Only 7 minutes as of right now. And as you make your way southbound from Lakewood Drive to the Heights Drive, a 9-minute commute. So probably the best time of day to be traveling north or southbound on 360. We'll certainly see that change as the morning goes along. And we've got you covered. We'll see you back here in only 10 minutes for another check of your traffic.
Okay, thank you. More help is on the way for the Bastrop recovery. Which agency just announced that it is stepping up when we come back?
Plus, recent rain soaked central Texas, but is it cause for celebration against our drought problem? We went to a local aquifer to find out.